Hey everyone, and welcome back. Have you ever put on your Ray-Bans and thought, what if these were powered by AI?
Interesting.
Well, Meta has gone ahead and done just that.
Yeah.
But as usual, the devil's in the details, and some recent TechCrunch articles kind of have us wondering
Okay.
just how much of you or those stylish frames analyzing.
Yeah, it's you know what's really interesting about this is it's not like you're choosing a photo or a video from your camera roll to upload and share or anything.
Right.
These glasses are constantly capturing your world in real time.
Yeah.
Think about it. Your home, your friends, those everyday moments you probably don't even think twice about.
Yeah, it's true.
And it's all being recorded.
Yeah, okay, so let's unpack this a little bit. Okay. On the surface, it's all very sleek and futuristic. You can imagine getting, real-time outfits suggestions based on what's in your closet, or having the AI identify landmarks as you stroll by. That's pretty cool stuff.
It is cool. Yeah, the convenience factor is hard to deny.
Yeah.
But the question then becomes, what happens to all that visual data?
Right.
We already know that Meta uses publicly available data from Facebook and Instagram to train its AI.
Uh-huh.
That's already a massive amount of information.
Right.
And for a lot of people, that might be a trade-off that they're comfortable with.
Right, because you're making a conscious choice to share those vacation pics or that delicious meal or whatever.
Exactly.
But these Ray-Bans are recording constantly, regardless of whether you're snapping a photo or not.
All the time.
It's like a whole different ballgame.
It is.
So how does this constant visual stream play into Meta's AI training?
Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
TechCrunch asked Meta point blank if images and videos captured by these Ray-Bans were being used to train their AI. A simple yes or no would have sufficed, I think.
Exactly. You would think so.
Yeah.
So what did Meta say?
Well, their initial response was, to be honest, eerily quiet. Then they started to give vague references to privacy policies.
Right.
Which, let's be honest, who reads those cover to cover?
Nobody.
No, it's just not happening.
Right.
Then they finally kind of clarified that photos and videos are only used for training if you specifically ask the AI to analyze something.
Okay.
Like identifying a plant or translating a sign or something like that.
Okay.
But even then, they kind of danced around the question of whether that data was then used for broader AI training. They just said they don't publicly discuss it.
That's very interesting.
Right.
It almost feels like they're intentionally avoiding a direct answer, especially when you consider their new live video analysis feature.
Yeah, what about that? Tell me more.
Okay, so this feature basically sends a constant stream of images to Meta's AI
Okay.
to provide real-time feedback and assistance, so it's super convenient.
Yeah.
But it also means that every time you use it, you're essentially feeding their AI with a detailed visual diary of your life.
Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
So while you're getting real-time fashion advice, Meta's AI might be learning to recognize your favorite coffee shop.
Yes.
The park you walk through every day. Even, maybe the faces of your friends and family.
Yeah, that's a little creepy.
It is a bit.
And is that level of data collection really necessary, though?
Right. That's a good question. The article from TechCrunch pointed out that other major players in the AI field, like Anthropic and OpenAI, have explicitly said that they do not use user data in this way to train their models.
So it is possible to develop these advanced AI features without turning your life into a data mine.
It seems that way, right?
Which makes Meta's evasiveness even more questionable, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely raises some red flags.
Yeah.
Especially given some of their past struggles with data privacy.
Yeah.
Remember that massive lawsuit they faced in Texas?
Oh, right. For misusing facial recognition data?
Oh, wow.
There again?
Yeah, they had to pay a massive settlement, $1.4 billion to be exact. And they were using facial recognition data for their tag suggestions feature on Facebook without users' consent.
Wow.
So they had to delete billions of facial recognition data points.
Wow.
And here's something interesting.
Okay.
A lot of these new Ray-Ban AI features, they're not available in Texas.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
It does.
Okay, so we've established that Meta is being very, very quiet about how they're using the data from these classes.
All right.
But let's dig a little deeper into the potential implications for the average user. Someone who just wants a cool pair of shades with a little AI sprinkled in.
Okay.
Where does this leave them?
Well, I think it boils down to that classic dilemma.
Yeah.
Convenience versus privacy. Those Ray-Bans might be able to tell you the best wine pairing based on a quick glance at the menu.
Right.
But at what cost?
Right.
It's like having a personal assistant who also happens to keep a detailed record of your every move.
Yeah, it's like that saying, if you're not paying for the product, you are the product.
Yeah.
But in this case, like, even if you shell out a few $100 for these glasses.
Right. Are you really not the product?
Right, exactly.
Yeah. I mean, you're paying for the convenience, you're paying for the cool factor, but the price tag on your privacy, that's the real question.
Yeah.
And this is where things get even more complicated.
Okay.
Because we have to talk about Meta's privacy policy.
Oh boy, the dreaded fine print.
I know, right?
I will fully admit, I rarely read those things.
Oh, me neither.
Unless it's like, I have to.
Of course. It's a lot. I know they're dense, they're filled with legal jargon. But buried somewhere in those terms and conditions is a clause stating that interactions with Meta's AI features can be used for training purposes.
Hold on. So even if I'm not using the live video analysis feature, just wearing the glasses and like interacting with the AI, that could mean my data is being used.
Potentially, yeah.
Oh, wow.
And here's the kicker.
Okay.
While you can opt out of having your voice recordings used for training, there's currently no way to opt out of having your images and videos used.
So with audio, I have a choice.
Right.
But with visual data, it's like a blanket. We might be using this from Meta.
Basically, yeah.
Wow.
And that lack of control over your visual data is concerning when you think about the potential consequences, right?
Yeah.
This is information about your physical surroundings, your daily routines, the people you interact with.
It's almost like a constant stream of security camera footage, but like coming from my face.
That's a good way to put it.
Right. It's a little creepy.
Yeah, it's a little unsettling.
Yeah. And the fact that these features aren't available in Texas, where Meta faced that massive facial recognition lawsuit, speaks volumes.
It does. They're treading carefully, but are they being transparent enough with their users? I don't know.
Yeah, it's debatable.
I think so.
They're clearly trying to, like, avoid making the same mistakes.
Right.
Right.
They got in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, but are they really doing enough to ensure that users fully understand what it means to be wearing this device that is constantly watching and learning?
Right, because it's not just watching Netflix, you know?
Right, exactly. And it's a slippery slope.
Totally.
On the one hand, we want these advancements in technology.
Of course. It's cool.
Right? Like, who doesn't want AI-powered sunglasses?
Right, exactly.
But we also want control over our own data.
Yes, absolutely.
So what is the solution here? Like, do we all need to become Luddites and swear off smart glasses forever?
Well, I don't think it has to be that extreme.
Okay.
I think the key here is informed consent.
Okay.
Like, before you slap on those high-tech shades, take a minute to actually read through Meta's privacy policy.
Right.
As tedious as it might be.
Yeah.
Understand what data they're collecting, how they might be using it, and what control you have over it, if any.
So it's about being aware of the trade-offs.
Yep.
Like, that instant translation feature might be tempting, but I have to weigh that against the potential cost of giving up a piece of my privacy.
For sure.
But isn't this bigger than just Meta?
Absolutely. This isn't just a Meta issue. This is a tech industry issue.
Right.
As AI continues to integrate into our lives through these wearable devices, we're going to see more and more of this, this blurring of the lines between personal experience and data collection.
So what can we do as consumers to protect our privacy in a world where our glasses are watching and learning? So what can we do as consumers to protect our privacy in a world where our glasses are watching and learning?
Well, I think awareness is a really good place to start.
Okay.
Like we said, read those privacy policies, even though they're super long and boring and you don't want to. But yeah, I think, ask yourself, am I actually okay with this level of data collection?
Yeah.
And if the answer is no, or even maybe not, then say something. Like we often forget that we as consumers do have a voice.
Right. Yeah, we do.
Support companies that are prioritizing user privacy and data security.
Okay.
Like, vote with your wallet, and don't be afraid to demand better from these big tech companies like Meta. Push for stricter privacy regulations, more transparency, greater user control over data.
It's about setting boundaries.
Exactly.
Like, just because the technology makes it possible to collect data constantly doesn't mean they should be allowed to. Right.
Exactly.
Like, we need to start seeing our digital footprint as an extension of ourselves.
Yes.
And demand that same level of respect and protection.
I love that. I couldn't agree more. Like, we wouldn't walk around with a live feed of our lives on a public billboard or something.
Right?
So why should our digital experiences be any different?
It's a really good point, and it's so easy to get caught up in the cool factor
Totally.
that we forget to think about, like the bigger picture.
Yeah, for sure.
And we've seen this time and time again, right?
Absolutely. It's the classic dilemma, progress versus privacy.
Right.
But I do think it's possible to strike a balance.
Okay.
Imagine a future where you could, have complete control over your data.
Okay.
You choose what's shared, you choose how it's used, and you get to choose who benefits from it.
That sounds like a future worth striving for.
Right.
Yeah, like that.
Where our devices can, enhance our lives without compromising our privacy.
100%.
Yeah, and it all starts with awareness and education and a healthy dose of skepticism.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to ask those tough questions.
Yeah.
Demand that transparency and really hold these companies accountable for how they're using your data.
Yeah, it's like they say, with great power comes great responsibility.
That's right.
And in the age of AI and wearable technology, that responsibility kind of falls on everyone.
It does. It falls on the creators and the users.
Yeah.
Well said. Yeah.
So the next time you see someone sporting a cool pair of AI glasses, remember, they might be seeing a lot more than meets the eye. But you have the power to shape how this technology evolves.
Absolutely.
And to ensure that our digital future is one where privacy and progress can coexist.
I love that. 100%.
Well, this was great. Thank you so much for joining us.
This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, this was really interesting.
Yeah, really interesting stuff.
And we hope that all of you will continue to explore these questions with us.
Yes, please do.
Until next time, be mindful, be informed, and be empowered.
Yes, love it.